Hi folks, I'm Dr. Don Wright. I'm one of the instructors who teach Business 231 for Excelsior College. And I've also had a role in developing this new version of the course. This is Business 231, Business Data Literacy. We purposefully changed the official name of the course so it no longer includes the word statistics. Why did we do that? We are trying to make clear that this course is not the typical statistics course. Though we do stick to the American Statistical Association guidelines for an introductory statistics course, this approach is totally new. In my years of teaching statistics, I too often find students procrastinate in taking this course. It's a 200-level course. But I frequently had senior students taking it as one of their last courses in earning their degree. And in discussions with my students, I find many, far too many, express dread and even anxiety about taking this course. You do know that statistics anxiety is an official diagnosis. Caution, this is a trigger warning. Here comes a statistic. Studies show that 4 out of 5 intro stats students have some level of statistics anxiety. This course has a new name, but the changes we made here away from the typical stats course are profound. Here we do not expect you to memorize all of the formulas or a lot of mathematical derivations. We want you to learn statistical concepts and statistical thinking. We want you to become data literate, savvy consumers of data. Being data literate means you can read data, work with data, analyze data, and argue and communicate with data. We want you to be data savvy. Statistical thinking is important for businesses of all types. But though some of you may not be in the School of Business, all of you have some kind of business with a small b. You may be involved in the practice of medicine in some way, or work in the field of criminal justice, or be skilled in information technology or nuclear engineering. Statistical thinking is important to most of us, no matter what our business is. The world today is highly competitive. No individual or organization can be static. We all must continually improve. We must learn to use the principles of statistical thinking. And they are, all work occurs in a system of interconnected processes. Variation exists in all processes. Understanding and reducing variation is the key to success in improving your business. One critical aspect of being data savvy is knowing how to use a good technology tool to work with data and to analyze data. And I forgot to mention that the course does not require you to buy a book or to pay for technology. In this course, we're going to use the statistical programming language R and a graphical interface called RStudio. Both R and RStudio are totally free to use. And you must understand, we do not expect you to become programmers, R programmers, any kind of programmers. Rather, we want you to learn to navigate R as a tool, interpret its output, and use it to create effective data analyses and visualizations. We want you to become code chunk ninjas. Learning to use RStudio and code chunks is really not that much different from learning any other technology to use to crunch the statistical numbers for you, whether that would be SPSS, Excel, or even the good old TI-84 handheld calculator. You all have to learn how to use them to do statistics. Okay, enough of my selling this course. Let's briefly give you a walkthrough of the resources you will have. We have created a lab website where much of your work in the course will take place. There are links out to the labs from your Canvas course modules. Each of the 8 labs has its own section here. Each has 3 subsections. There are 2 rehearses. You can think of them as practice or even tutorials where you do a lot of your learning. And each has a remix and report section where you will demonstrate what you learned. I want to call your attention now to Laboratory 8, which is called the Personal Data Project, the PDP. For the PDP, you will choose a data set that you want to work with and just do something with it. It's as simple as that. Just do something with the data you choose that shows a bit of your data literacy and your statistical thinking. We give you a lot of resources to help. Here is the PDP Personal Data Project webpage. We talk a bit more about what you are to do with your data, answer a research question of your choosing on the data set page, and we have links to some data sets that you can use. But you are not limited to them. You can find your own data set if you want. And if you have data related to your current job or career field or business, and if you have permission to use it, you can use it to answer a question that is perhaps directly related to your current job or career. What you do in this PDP is to reuse the process you learned in the previous labs and reuse the code chunks. We provide this code chunk page with examples of the most commonly needed code. All you need to do is recognize what you want to do, pick a chunk, and then edit it for your data. We also have examples of processes, exploratory data analysis and graphing, and links to detailed examples of building confidence intervals and running hypothesis tests. Then, to finish up your personal data project, you will create just an executive summary. It's not a long, drawn-out report. You just need to communicate your findings in that executive summary like you would if you were giving a report to your supervisor or boss. And we also want you to make a little short presentation using some free screen capture technology to create a short video. No more than 5 minutes, hopefully around 3 minutes. That's it. That's your personal data project, and that's the end of the course. We think you will perhaps have some fun in this course and come away being a bit more data literate and I hope really data savvy. Let's go get to it.